Just did it. Do you want to do that again? I'll stand up there with you, or do you want me to stand back?
Tell them about to go. Kevin's going to be in there. Yeah.
Are you saving this or
Right
gonna press
downstairs.
it?
Where is my Oh, that way. I think the city's going to take over.
Like you take a leash off? Like away.
Call meeting to order. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Here. Here. Presentations. A summary of strategic plan update for Western Wisconsin Health. Haley Peterson.
Okay. Great. You want me here?
That's perfect.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
And I understand Mark's gonna help me advance my slides. Is that still the plan?
That's what he said.
Okay. I'm pleased to see so many people interested tonight in the hospital strategic plan. Nice to be able to share with a broad audience. I'm grateful for that opportunity. Thank you for inviting me. I've had the pleasure and privilege of attending many village board meetings when I was hired as the CEO of the hospital. It was shared with me that this would be a very important meeting to attend, to understand what's happening in the village and understand how health and wellness and the village can come together. And that has proven to be very true. So when Mark invited me to share my plan with you, I was really thrilled. So thank you again for the opportunity to highlight what it is we are working on at the hospital to keep our community healthy and well. So this is our new 5-year strategic plan. We launched it in January of 2026, and it's intentional that it looks like a house. The top of the house, the roof, is guided by our values, caring, to be innovative, and sustainability. The pillars of the house are the pillars of our strategic plan, and it's what I'm going to share with you today, where we intend to focus our energy and efforts over the next 5 years. And the foundation of that is the mission of the hospital, which is to build a healthier tomorrow together. The together part of our mission is our community. We do this work together and with the community that we serve. It's one of the great benefits of serving as an independent hospital. We truly have an opportunity to know what our community is looking for from their hospital and their healthcare, and to be able to deliver that very directly. So the next slide captures a little bit about what we have accomplished in terms of volume of care over the last year. So this represents the impact that we've had in 2025. It is truly our privilege to be able to serve as our hometown hospital here. And often people not in Baldwin, but maybe in other parts of the state will say, oh, that's small hospital in Baldwin, small critical access hospital. But I think when you see numbers like this, it shows that we're anything but small. We are having a tremendous impact, caring not just for the residents of Baldwin, but for our region as a whole. That's highlighted in the fact that we completed over 70,000 visits last year. That's a lot of patients that we're caring for, and a lot of wellness that we're contributing to. One of the things that we're most proud of at the hospital are the babies that we deliver. This is especially true with so many hospitals around us closing their labor and delivery departments. We have made it a foundational aspect of who we are as a community hospital to not just sustain births, but to grow. We doubled our birthing center a year and a half ago. And that's reflected in the fact that we delivered 433 babies. So much of the United States has a declining birth rate. That's not us. Over the last 10 years, the hospital has increased our number of babies that we've delivered by 1,000%. So 10 years ago, we delivered 50 babies. So this is an impactful number and shows that people come to us to receive quality care and have their babies with us and start their families. Okay, we can progress. So our strategic plan was developed by engaging with the community. We did hosted many stakeholder groups, focus interviews, met with many members of the community, including EMS, police department, the county, and really asked people, what are you looking for from your hometown hospital? What do we do well? What don't we do well? What do we need to improve on? And those answers help shape our strategic plan. These are just some of the quotes that we received from our community members, that people value that we're an independent hospital, that we're not part of a system, and that we truly are integrated and embedded in the community. And that is very important to us and something that we will strive to maintain. It's an important part of our identity. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Next slide highlights those pillars again. This is what I'm gonna now kind of round out my presentation talking about our pillars of the strategic plan. And that's advancing innovative care, creating and defining excellence, and inspiring community trust. You can go to the next slide. When it comes to advancing innovative care, there are several initiatives that we're going to be focused on over the next 5 years. I'll call out just a few. One of the things that we want to do with our hospital is to be able to provide as encompassing of services as we can. We recognize that traveling to other areas, transportation is difficult, and so as much as we can offer in our hospital so patients can stay in their hospital, have families visit them while they're here, is important. And a big part of advancing innovative care is allowing us to do that. What type of new services and state-of-the-art care can we provide? So one big way that we're doing that is we have launched inpatient dialysis. So we can now provide dialysis care right within the hospital. Next step is launching outpatient dialysis. We're going to provide outpatient dialysis in the building behind the Dollar General. We've leased that space from Oakleaf, and we'll be providing outpatient dialysis there. So that's a pretty extensive service for a critical access hospital to offer. I'm very pleased that we can offer that to our community. Another big program that I want to highlight here is the first 1,000 days. So I mentioned we deliver a lot of babies. It's our responsibility to care for those babies. The first 1,000 days of life are a really impactful element of any human's life. It's where they have a lot of brain development, a lot of nutritional and advancement happens in those early days. And if we don't get it right there, a lot of research out there shows that patients will not do as well for the duration of their lifespan. So in this first 1,000 days program, we intend to provide a whole series of appointments, education, care coordination to our youngest patients, make sure that their families are set up with the care that they need to help them be successful for those first 1,000 days and through their lifespan. Okay, we can go to the next pillar, defining and creating excellence. We want to make sure that our community knows that we are a high caliber, quality healthcare institute. We are not just a hospital of convenience, but we want to be the hospital of choice because we have quality outcomes. We want to make sure that we communicate those quality outcomes effectively. And to do that, one of the things that we need to do is also be able to grow and expand our services. So it's part of our 5-year plan to build a new medical office building on our campus to allow us to grow and bring on new specialty services to meet the growing demands and needs of our community. Okay, next slide. And then lastly, inspiring community trust. I think you in this room know how important it is to be a trusted partner, and that's particularly true about healthcare. A lot of studies demonstrate that if people don't trust their medical provider, they won't go to their appointments, they won't follow the plan of care that's being prescribed, and they won't have quality outcomes. We also know that the last 5 years through the pandemic were not kind to building community trust amongst medical providers. So it is our mission to help restore that community trust. One of the ways that we're doing that is actually in partnership with our local EMS through the provision of the community paramedic program. So together, EMS and us as the hospital, we have a shared employee whose job it is to go out to see patients at their homes, post-hospitalization, to do wound checks, to do medication checks. We have patients right now due to the environment that are scared to leave their homes. And through the community paramedic program, we can provide care to them, we can deliver immunizations, we can deliver medications. It shifts the paradigm from the EMS being a scary place when the ambulance shows up to no, we can also deliver healthcare together to keep you at home and to keep you healthy. Those are the highlights of what I wanted to share. Any questions that you have for me, comments, things that you were hoping to hear that I didn't share?
Sounds good.
Okay, great. And thank you for the opportunity to present today. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Haley. Consent agenda 5, A through E. Anything pulled? I'm gonna pull C.
Motion to approve A, B, D, E.
The motion? Second. Get a second. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? C, I'm pulling that, change the minutes to amend, for the chief of police. We did his, 4.5% for his retirement. We need to put that as retroactive from start date. Correct? I guess I'll make that as a motion then.
I'll second.
Motion second to amend the minutes from last month where Kevin to be retroactive on the start date. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Now we have to approve C, correct, Paul?
Yes.
Okay. Good motion. A motion a second. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Regular agenda, A, Police Department building renovation, project update, Old Associates.
Sorry.
Uchi, front page this time.
Yep, I did. I've been the boss. All right, we'll start with the board update here, the construction schedule. I think based on our pay app, we're about at 80% of our construction. But it's looking pretty good here. We're pretty close to almost done. So going through the bullet points here, police garage essential completion date early March. I think it's basically done on the interior side of the garage. I think they have some junk work that they had to make just to make sure that it was a custom made item. The exterior is a little later because of the weather. You know, they want to make sure the primer on the siding is ready for paint, and they want to get that off. DNR garage essential completion date. So this is, it's already done. We're just awaiting final inspections. I believe they came on site today to do the final inspections for all Coy, right, Paul? I think that's what we discussed.
I think they did it before today.
Oh, you did it before today, okay, perfect.
Yep, I think they got there Monday.
Awesome, that's even better. So that's all done, the DNR garage is complete, and I didn't hear any other news about it, I think they approved it.
You just need to put a couple of stickers in the electrical box.
Okay.
So they can, things aren't used, but they can have occupancy.
Perfect. Yep, so it should be occupiable. Parking lot, still waiting for the spring to finish. The interior is late March. We're planning to do the final punch towards the end of the week, or end of the month here, I think the last week of March. So by April, hopefully we'll be ready for Kevin and their team to occupy. Current status report, interior vinyl wall covering has been installed throughout the facility. We'll talk about the change order that's related to that in a little bit here. Interior signs have been installed at all doors. Casework has started to be installed. Countertops are on site, so they should be installed soon as well. Restrooms are nearly complete. Most of the tile and plumbing fixtures are all in. You'll see a picture shortly here. And then the security and technology vendors are coordinating with contractors on site to get all that stuff ready for having their teams on site as well. Exterior signage has been installed. If you guys scroll past it, you can see the police signage there and along with their badge. And the police garage is completely sealed, just waiting for a sign. Any questions on the status report and schedule? No? Okay, go to the change order here. I got the total of $6,050 up here, but on your packet, it's probably a little more than $8,793. We'll go through that. I just want to make sure we understand all the items first. So my initial change order, I had ceiling lights and flooring changes in there, which is, the first one is the garage lighting. We had some coordination in there that we had to change some lights. So it went from the 2x4s to the strip lightings. That's an add of $1,000 and $16 there. The evidence room LVT, we originally had some sealed concrete in there. I think we wanted to change LVT just to help create a better space for the police, when they're easier to clean, nicer, about $880. PR21B, vestibule community room, ceiling changes. This is a total of $6,133. This is to create a nicer entrance for the public as they're coming in. The lobby ceiling and the community room ceiling tiles have finished. I just changed the newer style, more modern. And also the mechanical equipment there has been replaced as well. Here at 12C here, mudroom and armory ceilings. We originally had no ceilings in that space just to help save some money on TV. But I think looking at it now, it looks nicer with ceilings in there. So we wanted to add that, $1,488 there. And then the last one that was part of the original one is the Intox epoxy flooring, which is a total of $1,167. This creates an easier surface for them to clean that room if they need to. It might get dirty. It was just sealed concrete before, so got a nice space in there that can keep the water from going to it. So. And we got some credits here. Existing duct, deduct here, $4,429. And then dented unit heater. One of the unit heaters came on site dented. It doesn't affect the actual operation of the unit. They just didn't want to return it, and we're like, it's going to take a month to get a new one. Just give us credit for it. So they gave us $200 for it. Better than nothing. So the final item here is the vinyl wall covering trim. We just received this change order this week, so it's about $2,743. It's just a small cover that goes over the vinyl wall covering, so that it just prevents it from peeling off. We didn't have the vinyl wall covering going all the way on the wall. I don't think we need it there. It's really just to help the police manage their wall when they're wearing their belts, so it just protects that space. So that gives you a total of $8,793 for the change order number 5. And I believe this might be the last one. We don't have any more changes coming, not that I can think about, but I might regret saying that.
There'll be another one.
Any questions on the change orders?
Do you know where we sit with what we have left in change order?
Yeah, you're at about $40,000 for each of these.
Okay.
Yep, so you're still sitting pretty healthy. Okay.
Thanks.
Yep, next steps here. So the casework and sinks are going to be finished this month. Interior storefronts are not here yet, but they're going to arrive soon and be installed. Final lighting fixtures, we don't have the lights in the main lobby or the main police area installed yet. That needs to be installed. And final inspections and March 16th, Walden and Village will walk and do a final punch. And exterior is the siding soffits. And I have a few photos here, if everyone wants to look at, scroll down a little bit. There's a nice reception space there, almost done. We'll have the bullet resistant glazing right there between the reception space and the lobby. And then you have the 2 doors, one into the interview and one into the main police area. There's the almost finished bathroom, nearly finished. All the tile work, the mirror. You see the mirror, all the accessories. Scroll down. And there's the nice police sign with the logo. This was just freshly installed when I took this photo, so it's fresh. Yeah, I was asking them to move it a couple inches to the right. There you go. And then this is just the other side of the police garage. All the side, it's just all ready for the siding, all the hatch houses are on it. So, and then that area is where we had to do the change order for. You see all the water's kind of pooling in the area. We need to make it so it flows south of the site onto the street. So, that's all I have.
Thanks, Uchi.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate it. Got a motion for pay requests and change order? Do it separate,
Motion to approve pay request 6, $291,156.95.
Motion, 2 seconds. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Motion to approve change order 5, $8,793.
Motion second. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, B, 2026 street project update grant.
I just wanted to update everybody on our street project, kind of the scope of it. I know we talked about doing street projects, and I just want to make sure everybody understands what we're doing as far as the project itself. So if you look at the map here, the blue is the area we're tackling in this area, is Meadow Lane. The cul-de-sac there, so no underground utilities, it's surface, subsurface, select fresh, building the road the way they should be built. It's a super wet area, so we're gonna put drain tile in the road. Right now the blacktop and the concrete curb are both in disrepair, they're both pretty worn out. So we're gonna obviously fix all that. Fix the slope of some of the road, because it kind of pools in the, maybe the south corner, I guess, south east side of that cul-de-sac. And if you look going to the north and kind of the west there, there's a storm sewer that dumps out those, there's a swale in the back there, the blue line that goes to the north, the narrow line. We're gonna reset the catch basin in that corner and push it farther out into the swale. There's a 10-foot utility storm drain easement in that swale. And right now it doesn't really even get to that point. I mean, it gets there eventually, but the pipe stops short of that by quite a ways, so we're gonna try to push it out as far as we can to get it closer to that swale. And on the north, west side there, that last little chunk that goes from Elm to Fifth, we are burying a storm sewer behind the curb, because when it gets wet in the spring and the fall, well, most of the issues in the winter and the fall, if we have a lot of rain, it spills out into the roadway and makes a disaster in the road, ice, and it's really hard to control. So we're gonna put an inlet there and let it go into the, there's a catch basin we're gonna dump it into, so that we try to keep it off the road, basically. Go to the next one, Mark.
Sleeping at the wheel again.
Pretty much.
Graham, what's there now?
Or
On Elm, or it left out there all the time?
nothing, it's just swales there and it just kind of spills onto the roadway, which is fine in the spring and summer, but over the winter time it's, yeah, so we're trying to alleviate that. This is the other area we're doing, so Maple Street from 9th to 8th Avenue. So we're taking off on 9th Avenue and going to the east up 8th Avenue with underground utilities, sanitary and water, and then redoing the surface, obviously, sidewalks and whatnot. Turning north, going up 8th Avenue towards Main Street, same thing, underground utilities, surface, sidewalk. That back alley, there's a sanitary line that's in bad shape, we're gonna fix that while we're there. basically we're right up to Main Street on the south side of it, and we're putting the water main on that stretch of road. Right now, there's water main stubbed out there from Main Street from when they did that project. We're connected down on Maple there, so that block will have water in it. Right now, it doesn't. North side of the Main Street there, water to that hydrant up by the tracks is gonna get replaced. Sanitary in that area is gonna be done. That parking lot, the upper area there, that big blue area, we're gonna surface the parking lot. The driveway of Pillar Bank, there's a storm inlet, actually on both sides of the road there is. We're gonna fix those, both of the structures are falling apart, so we're gonna repair them while we're there. Obviously sidewalk all through there is gonna be repaired. The back alley, we're gonna, line the sanitary line, so we don't have to excavate the whole thing. It's a good candidate for that, it's in pretty good shape overall. So we're gonna line it, and then, resurface the top there. The back alley will be new blacktop, so it's not such a pothole haven, whatever you call it. And then the food pantry parking lot there, you'll see we have a blue spot marked out for, where it's gravel right now, we're gonna put, as of right now, it's, blacktop. And the reason it's blacktop is about a third the price of concrete, so if that's something you guys aren't cool with, we can change it, but it's considerably cheaper, so. I just wanna give everybody an update, kinda, we talked about the projects, but so everybody knows what we're doing, what we're after. Water main through those areas is super old, so we're trying to repair that, obviously. Same as sanitary, they're in not very good shape. And along with doing all that, we do the surface and the laterals, sewer, sanitary laterals and water laterals to the right away, so that's what we got cooking. Can you go back to the other one, Mark, that other map I had?
The first one,
Yeah.
I can go back.
I'm gonna let Mitch talk about this part, for an easement. You'll see it's the next part of our packet here.
Yeah, yes, little backstory, I sent an amendment for some easement description and exhibits, with our survey group. Graham had given us, the current easements that were set up during the development of Meadow Lane. One, they're only, overland like drainage easements, and two, the storm sewer that was installed off there isn't even in it. So we should get that updated. We need to replace that storm inlet in the corner and extend that out so we can gain some, depth to grab that, the drain tile that we're installing on Meadow, so. That's what the amendment is for. I guess right now it's not even on it, and it wasn't even the correct easement company left to have that up there. It looked like it was originally set up to have just a cutout in the back of the curb and still back there, and those issues during development from what we could find for, records on that, and this was installed sometime in the late '90s or early 2000s, I guess, and it doesn't seem to be recorded correctly.
That could be an issue.
Getting an easement?
Yeah, I mean, like,
I
good
don't
luck.
think so, it's already there, it's just a new one, I don't know if the homeowner's a different homeowner,
Probably are. Yep.
but it's something that's already there, so you would think hopefully it's just doing it the right way. And like Graham said, there's already a 10-footer along the backside of the fence back there, there's a 10-foot drainage easement set up, so it can be maintained, I guess, if, right now it's kinda swampy and tall grass, it isn't prohibitive for, allowing, much to drain through there right now, so.
Yeah, instead of having a swamp back there, it's been awful back there for years.
So that amendment's just adding that scope of work with our survey group for the exhibit, and then the write-up for the description of the easement, provided that, and then that'll have to be documented, signed by the homeowner, and then, recorded with the county.
Well, that'll be done.
Hmm?
When's that all gonna be done?
As soon as we get this signature, we'll get working on it. They've got enough information with the survey we conducted.
So homeowners are all been notified and everything like
As far as,
that, about this change on these easements?
No,
No.
we gotta get it.
correct. we gotta get this approved so we can get the exhibit and the description written out.
That's Craig, 63 project. So you were between 28 and 30?
Oh, yeah, cause now that got bumped again.
Yeah.
So now 2029 they're doing it, right? 63, so that's,
Okay.
we'll tie in with that.
Motion to approve project amendment 1 for utility easement.
Motion second. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Right.
If you just wanna send PDF email of that signed, I guess, right away instead of waiting in the mail, then I can get it going right away.
Okay.
So,
C, review and approve revised copier quote, police department.
Okay, so, we got another quote, actually, we've got 2 quotes since the last meeting. Well, the quote we got from Epson was quite a bit better, and actually, they had some more options that cut the price even more. They had government pricing, so we're pretty excited about, actually, not that so much. Let me just bring up the quote from Epson. So basically, this is a machine that is faster, that it doesn't use heat drum technology, so it's a more kind of modern technology. It's gonna cost less, and my prediction is it's gonna be more, it's gonna last longer. But we have a couple of options. Basically, the option that we wanted to look at was an option that had 2 paper sizes, that's color, that does duplexing, faxing, scanning, all that stuff. But this is a lower price than the, what was it, Rico quote, and I got another quote that was actually higher, so I didn't include that one. But, no, the Rico quote was approved last month, but we brought this back because we thought this was a lot better option. We're gonna look at this too for this building and change out. So Paul, I don't know if we need to do as far as the motion goes. I mean, can they just approve this, or do they need to put something in the motion about the motion last month that approved the Rico? I think in the motion, we should just make it clear that we're replacing that approval with this approval. Or we want to move that. Yeah, okay.
I'm not clear on what's being asked, purchase or lease, because both options are on here. Or am I not looking at the right-
AMC 400 is what we're looking at, and I think, Kim, we're looking at purchasing,
There was nothing in the budget to purchase,
so we're looking at lease.
so we're looking at leasing,
Okay,
and their
lease.
lease cost includes 4%, which is better than the E.O. Johnson, which was 7%. And our debt, if you look at our average debt right now, we're at 5%, so their 4% beats the 5%, so the lease seems like a really good deal.
And the lease does not include the equipment service, are we signing up for that as well?
That's $20 a month, and it's in the $96.76 a month number. At the very top line in the yellow, the monthly lease plus service, the service is included in there.
I'm looking on this one. Oh, you're looking at that.
Yeah, I brought up the
Okay, I'll look at
comparisons.
the contract. So the four monthly is the back. Let me get there. I was looking at the contract, sorry.
Better lease than buy anyway, if it was budgeted or no?
No, it's cheaper to buy it outright than it is to lease it. Leasing, you're gonna, if it were budgeted, but it's not budgeted, so therefore it does not make sense. And the cost of go buy it or own it, you're gonna pay monthly maintenance cost, but it's, from our position right now in the budget, we don't have the money for it. 4% is reasonable, and it will allow us to exit the lease, but usually there's a buyout clause. I didn't make this contract to see if there's a buyout clause, but usually what we do is just get a new piece of equipment in here, which is smart for things like that. So, I'll make a motion to approve the lease requested for the police department. What do I need to say about the old lease, or the old?
Well, last month's
Yeah, I wasn't-
approval.
It was rescind approval of E.O. Johnson quote for police department copier replaced with One Source Imaging Epson copier.
A lot to say, Mark.
I know. We'll get it in the minutes.
Jody,
We sent last month's Leo Johnson, and making, and in that same motion, make a motion to approve the lease as presented here. Those is for.
motion second. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? E, review and approve AC replacement for the PD building.
I should be making Kevin say this, not reading.
No, go ahead.
It was actually the DNR that made the big fuss.
Yeah, true. Alright, we talked about this last fall, the AC unit, which would be on the, well, it'd be the west side of the building, kind of by the front entrance. Basically it's worn out, last spring, summer, we had it built at Freon, it all leaked out in like a couple weeks. They told us it's pretty much seen better days, worn out. Got 3 different quotes here from 3 different people. You see, we got A&M Heating, Countryside Plumbing, and J&N Heating and Cooling. So A&M was talking about not having such a large unit and putting it in the community room closet, basically putting a smaller unit in. He doesn't feel like we need one quite so big. You'll see that his price reflects that. And the other 2 are for basically replacing what's there with just a newer version of it. Which I think is what we should do, replace what's there. It's worked well for 20 plus years. And it's an outside unit, then nothing has to be changed on the inside. In my opinion, the Countryside Plumbing Heating quote would be the one to go with, and we should do the, on there it says add $500 for the hail guards. The outer radiator, whatever you want to call it, is all just beat the heck from hail, so they're like, it's a no-brainer to put it on, so that's what I'm thinking we should do. And we didn't do it last year because we were out of the summer, it got cooler, and we knew we were going to be renovating, so we didn't know if anything was going to be touched with this unit, so we just kind of put it up for now, so that's why we're bringing it up again.
So the DNR lease has specs for HVAC units, you look at those, you might want to.
But if we replace it with the same size unit, you should be theoretically good.
Yeah, I don't, I'm not an HVAC guy, look at the specs, but I know there is that attached to that lease. In terms of efficiency and whatever.
There's some issues with any of the existing stuff. Everything else.
And it's probably,
That's all on
be
us.
fine, right?
Right.
I just
We'll have to double check it.
wanna make sure we check.
Are there any changes to the pool area with any of the renovations? So, for instance, are we including the garages?
We would be, but I believe this unit just does the very front area, like community room and the entryway, I guess, in the bathroom, basically.
So there's how many units in the building?
I don't know, like 6, 8 of them, they're all spread all the way around the building.
There's at least 4 furnaces,
Yeah.
6 at least.
There's smaller ones around the outside, back farther, that they had removed to add the garage, so I'm assuming they're going back in somewhere. replace serve the same purpose it did before.
The square footage should be the same.
Yep, nothing changed in that area at all,
We
nothing.
better go check that,
Yep,
that spec thing, because we've had enough of this DNR lease stuff. So,
We had talked about this in streets and buildings last fall, and our hope was that there'd be enough money left over in the change order, so even after today, there's about 31,000 left. We're gonna use this as a part of that, and not have to spend it out.
I would hope it still meets the specs if they rented it for 20+ years of the same air conditioner.
Yeah, I think it talks about when they're replaced.
Sure.
say approve it then with the, yeah, with countryside, we'll make sure that who's looking over the specs, you are gonna do it, or?
And,
Is that a motion?
I guess it is. You guys make any sense out of that? We'll go with countryside plumbing and heating. You know, and we'll have Graham take a look at the specs, and make sure it's kosher with, the lease agreement.
I'll second this one,
Thanks.
Additional $516.
And the additional $516 for the hail guard, because we get hailed out every year.
That's like every other.
But we won't now. You get all that, Jody? Okay. We got a motion and a second. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? E, review and approve correction of union employees' WRS employee contribution over withholding. This will be an interesting one if you guys don't know about this.
This is interesting.
We found a $100,000 mistake. Thank you, Kim, or at least the police department's thanking you a lot, but after, Kim, you want to just speak about this just a little bit here? On what you discovered on this?
Okay, so, one of the things that I do is payroll, and this, what I discovered, was that an incorrect Wisconsin retirement deduction code was being used. And I discovered that as I was doing the 2026 New Year update. So the state changes the rates each year. So you need to go into the payroll system and change it. And the state has two classes of employees. There's general employees and whatever the state says the general employee has to put in, they put in, and then the village matches. Then there's the protected employee class, and those rates are different. The protected employee basically puts in the same as the general, but the village pays twice as much because of the risk of the job. There's a third dimension though, and that's where the error comes in, because if you have employees who are covered by a union contract, the union contract supersedes the state rate. And the village lost an employee back in 2014, and temporary help was brought in to do payroll. That person did not know about the contract, so from 2014 on, as new employees were being set up, they were using the wrong code. So we had employees in there with the right code who have retired, but over the course of the last 12 years, you've had new employees come on with the wrong code.
It's like they're copying the profile of that wrong.
Yeah, and it's just on autopilot.
Yeah.
So, the amount in total is large because we're talking 15 individuals that were affected over the course of 12 years. But when I found it and I let Mark and Lance know, they said, start crunching numbers, we want to make this right. And we talked to the lawyer and verified that there's no need to redo W-2s. Social Security wages were reported properly. This is just an internal thing where the split wasn't right, and so now the village needs to make it right by employees. So,
Paul, we did go with Von Briesen on this.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to step on your toes, but considering Dave, this is kind of their
expertise area, they were pretty helpful and got with us real quick, and I figured that I made that call. You buy pretty soon, so.
So the third dimension is what got the payroll off track. And now we're back on track. I fixed it as of January 1st. But we've got to refund retroactively.
So it's basically just approval, just a refund. And
Who are we refunding?
the police officer that we deducted too much out of their
There's a list on
paychecks.
your-
There's a list.
I just didn't put it in the packet.
Or does it go through the law firm to the officers, or does this go directly to the officers?
Then it comes out of account,
We
we're gonna
can do
give
it
them
through
hard
accounts
checks.
payable, right
Out
there.
of accounts payable.
Okay. But it doesn't need to go through like legal or?
Well, we've already
We
done that
already
part.
did due diligence, right?
Yep.
That's the word.
They
But
said
they don't
that,
have the process. We
they don't have the process, no, it doesn't, and it's not coming out of the WRS, it's, we deducted too much out of their account,
Right.
and then only put so much back into the WRS, so
Right, yep, I understand.
roughly 2% per officer per.
Yeah, so net everything was rock solid, but they did versus how we put in, they contributed too much, we contributed too little,
Yeah.
and we need to get that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
got it.
And then was there that letter? We gonna, from Don Brees, that we have approved one to give the officers who? Was that email you gave me? It was this one?
Yeah.
This is the one I decided
That
on.
was it. Recommended.
Yeah, the recommended.
Yeah, it's the same thing as this.
Okay.
Kim, how did you find it?
Just, I don't know, I guess in my experience, I've learned to cross-check things, and
Can we build an internal documented process where there's periodic validations of contributions by the village to these funded accounts, and, you know, whether it's the police officers or any of these groups, because you think of it just like a 401K, right? Or if you're funding 401K in Fidelity, there's all kinds of checks to make sure that what goes to Fidelity is the match contribution that's set in the company's handbook.
Sure.
So like in the private sector, you know what I'm talking?
yeah,
But-
we have to figure out how to do that, because top level, Wisconsin didn't have an issue for all those years because the total going in was correct.
Right, but I would think
And
that,
then the
you know,
auditor didn't ever catch it either.
yeah, and we have audited financials, our CPA firm did not catch it, so, and we have all these checks and balances, but there's probably a, I don't wanna oversimplify it, but there could be and should be an internal process that's periodically run to say, we said we're gonna put in 10%, I'm gonna grab these paychecks and add it up, does it add up to 10%?
It's actually, it doesn't have to be that complicated, so if I showed you the reports that we pull monthly out of the payroll system with employee names, there's 3 categories: general, protected, and then there's this third category. And the reason it raised my antennas went up was because there was only 1 person in the third category. And there should have been 9. So it's, when you look at, whoever's doing payroll processing that, you should see all the general in the first category, all the EMS in the second, and all the police union employees in the third.
So is it as simple as updating our documentation internally, just to make sure that we've got the right checks and balances? Because, you know, part of it is, well, it happened, sure, it got missed, I get it. We're correcting it, good thing, but then how do we prevent it, right? Like, how do we learn from this so that we make sure it doesn't happen again?
I would say specifically put a note in the onboarding procedure that says if this employee is in this category, this is the rate code that should be used. Right?
It is kind of funny, 12 years of audits, it's never got caught.
Well, there's many places where this could have gotten caught, right? And so, but the thing is when it all adds up, it all adds up. And so you don't go looking at numbers that add up. right? Like, that's how an audit is done. You go through, you add up all the numbers, what's, everything makes sense and you move on.
So we send a $99,000 bill to our auditors, 12 years worth
Yeah.
of this work.
Over how many different auditors though? 2 or 3
It's
in
even-
that time period?
How many firms do
It's
we
not
go
just
to?
one firm, it's
How many firms?
multiple.
At least 2, I bet.
Actually,
Same time, see the lake and Woodbury.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's about the same time.
And we had a change in systems, we went from workforce to civic, around
And we had a change in personnel.
personnel,
Yep.
and a change in auditor.
Ooh. That's rough. There you can see how it happens, right? But,
I'm surprised it wasn't found sooner, and I'll just leave it at that.
all got catch. Okay. That's a tough pill to swallow. That's too bad. All right, so I'm guessing this needs a motion. All right, well, I'll
Yes,
make,
it does.
I'm gonna, is it a motion or a roll call?
Just a motion, roll call vote.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve payment of $99,526.47 to the listed affected people on the schedule. And I request that an internal documentation, the process be detailed and presented to the board at the next board meeting for review to ensure that it doesn't happen again.
Second. Motion second. Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Vivian,
Yes.
Serafina,
Yes.
Naylor, O'Leary,
Yes.
Roland,
Yes.
Woodens, and Summer.
Yes.
Yeah, made it through a lot of hoops before 8 o'clock, that's for sure.
Right.
Right, all right. Committee reports, tourism committee, March 5th, 2026, tourism committee minutes. I don't know if there's an update, or you wanna give an update?
All right, so the tourism committee met on March 5th, and we had solicited applications for partnership with the village tourism committee, partner with the tourism entity. We received 3 applications, including the Baldwin Hockey Association, Baldwin Woodville Chamber of Commerce, and Windmill Days. At the meeting, the Hockey Association did not have a representative there, but they did submit their paperwork and we did review that. We had an in-depth conversation with the Baldwin Woodville Chamber of Commerce and also with Windmill Days. And so there was a lot of conversation back and forth that happened during that meeting. And the next order of business is for the tourism committee to meet to select the tourism entity that we will partner with. There was also a request from the farmer's market for eggs. And we decided to table that request during that meeting because we aren't sure of the tourism committee funding yet. That rolls in as the funds are collected, so it's a pending issue. But by the next meeting, we should have more information to be able to address that. We will meet on April 29th at 6 p.m. and we will talk about our selection of campaign. And our meeting then wrapped up. It was a great meeting. It was way longer than we thought it was going to be, but it was a really good meeting. It was a great meeting.
Good, glad to hear it. Planning commission, February 23rd, 26th, special planning commission meeting with comp plan update. Eric, I might just, you wanna do this one, then just go right into your village engineer on the next one here? Department heads?
Yeah, it was the transportation section. Kind of nice to look at maps and kind of future planning of where, you know, the transportation needs to go. And then also, you know, the, 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 trails we put in, where sidewalks are, where, you know, arterial streets should be, where future streets should be. If you recall, when we had the CSM, just the west side of 63, other side of Dollar General, about a year ago, that they wanted to do that CSM, even though it was in the town, we were allowed to get, or require them to have set aside land for a road through there. And so this map that we're planning to update as part of the comp plan lays out where connecting roads kind of around the village as areas develop that we'll want to have in town. So that when people go to develop, we don't have roads nowhere and we don't have a bunch of dead ends. Make some connections. So it was a good meeting. And then afterwards, myself and Brandon and Mark marked up some maps and sent them over, including the final documents. And overall, good discussion. Few public here, not a lot, but a couple. Planning commission.
That was a pretty good meeting. Moving forward on it, it's what we did.
Yeah, it's, you know, the text part is hard to go through. It is pretty dry. It is what it is.
It was an hour and a half of dryness, that's for sure. But the more steps to be done, I guess, so.
Yeah, we'll, to be monthly meetings for a while.
Yeah, a couple, 2, 3 more at least.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go right back into there.
All right. Yeah, couple of development reviews, continue to work with Baldwin Apartments, and some odds and ends there. And, they're very anxious to be going here in spring. 10th Avenue, so part of 63, just north of Quick Trip, Habitat for Humanity is looking at developing a multifamily, triplex, yeah, residential. We're looking at that for zoning and other restrictions there. Did some things with the TID8 mapping, legal description of that, surveyors did. And then, infrastructure improvement plan program is this morning, a little bit about that, and we did that, I wrapped up too, and that was just some more estimates, and should be good with that. Okay.
Graham?
All right. For my part here, in the shop, we continue to perform yearly maintenance of vehicles and equipment. With all the snow, we've had a little more time to do a few more things with that. You see the 1-ton dump truck, it's gonna look a little different. It's gray instead of green, so we didn't buy a new truck, it just got painted, so. The floor was pretty beat up, so we decided to replace the floor, and while we were doing that, reinforce the bottom because there was not very many beams in there. One thing led to another, we decided to get it repainted since it was getting welded on and painted, so we painted it. Along with that, the truck itself was a lot of wear parts, different springs and whatnot were rusted out, so we just replaced them. It's a 2008 truck, so it's just normal maintenance type things. But while the truck box was off, it was a lot easier to do some of those back leaf springs and whatnot. The one of them actually, when we took it off, it fell apart, it was broken, so did some of that. Active Tree Service has been removing boulevard ash trees when the weather permits. We probably have 40, 50 of them from the cut down throughout town boulevard trees. We've been filling large potholes with our bag pothole mix, and somebody's making cold mix right now. And we actually have the county, St. Clair County spray patching, ditched at Cedar Street the other day. We're gonna go 4th Avenue because it's kind of pothole central, there's a lot out there. The weather's not helping with that when the warm and cold and the moisture and everything, so we're working at it, but it's kind of a battle. When the snow melted, it was so frozen, we removed some dead tree branches in the cemetery and other areas we could reach with a bucket truck while it was frozen. Plans for the street project were finalized. Project was posted to Quest, which is like an online program for being able to pull the plans for the bidders. Our bid opening will be Wednesday, March 18th at 10 a.m. at the Village Hall here. And we've had 6 prime bidders, they call them, the big dogs, ones doing the work, pull plans, doesn't mean they're all gonna submit them, but submit, prices, but we've had a lot of interest, so that's good. We've ordered parts for the street sweeper, we just changed oil in it today, doing kind of the yearly maintenance so we can start sweeping once the weather allows here again. Actually, we went out earlier in the week, and then, obviously today it snowed, but. Out at the sewer plant, Jeremy's been investigating optimization operations like we talked about before, so he's actually visited a couple facilities with different kinds of, phosphorus analyzers. He's gathering prices for that, area. And thickener update. We have a change order, so the project is still open through RJ Jarwowski, who's our general contractor. So we do have a change order we're gonna request here, and not at this meeting obviously, but we're putting that thickener in, utilizing RJ Jarwowski since the contract's still open and whatnot. And it should be showing up in a couple weeks here, the actual unit, so. When we're using the temporary ones working well and everything, just finally get the one that we decided to go with, and it's the same one we have now, so we're pretty confident it's gonna work well. I told you guys this before, we went from being kind of the middle of the pack for our solids, we send down Ellsworth, being the top dog, we're sending the most solids down, which just means less on trucking, to get more in their solids and the semi-loads, so we're pretty pumped about that, that's working well. That's all I got, any questions?
Have you received any feedback about the tree removal?
Yes.
How's that going?
Fine, we are gonna replace a lot of those trees in the boulevards, this spring once they grind out the stumps and everything. We are gonna give out flyers to those residents that were affected, call us a certain tree you want, we're doing, 6 different varieties of trees, obviously not ash trees. To mix it up a little bit so that the next disease when it comes through doesn't wipe them all out in one block at a time.
Can we do that in advance of cutting the tree down, talk with the residents?
No, we didn't,
Should we?
probably should, we definitely can.
There was a little flack out there.
Yep.
I'd be upset, if you cut my tree down, I know you can, but I'd lose my mind if you cut my tree down.
Yep.
You can't.
It's a village-owned tree, so
Yeah,
we will replace them, obviously, with, when the time permits. Other permitting.
Well, maybe we should do that, maybe we should contact them at least, and then give them a flyer, at least give them a flyer then, so somebody knows, or at least we all know now that there is a variety of 6 trees that we will
Yes.
replace now.
Yep, and they can,
You have to pick one of
they
those.
can pick whatever they want, if they have a certain species they wanna select.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like if you come home from work one day,
Yep.
the tree that you had for 40 years in front of your house is gone.
Okay.
You got your pet squirrel in it or something too, and
Yeah,
now that's gone.
squirrel in it, or whatever you want, anyway.
All right, thanks, Graham.
Yep.
Kevin?
All right. So during the past month, the Malden Police Department's continued proactive patrols throughout the city, and enforcement efforts. Moving in as the weather's kind of getting a little nicer, we're gonna focus on the safety in the residential areas, knowing that more people will be out and about, and traffic enforcement in those areas, making it private and creating awareness. Update is, of course, the new police department building. Things are going well there. I gotta say, we've begun preparing for the move, and we're ready for that transition into the new facility, and it's gonna be great to have. The team that we're working with, Wold and Berghammer, have great things to say about it. A lot of the contractors and subcontractors, they've been easy to work with and flexible when we've come across just different situations. Training and professional development in the department this month, Sergeant Alex Getty will attend the Wisconsin Department of Justice First Line Supervisor course. It's designed to prepare him as a first line supervisor and as a new sergeant, just promote success and well-being in the organization. Also, several officers trying to put an emphasis countywide and statewide on elder abuse and exploitation. Created kind of a mutual team throughout the area that Baldwin's part of, and we'll be sending several of our officers to this training over in Hudson, so we can recognize when we're on calls, some of the signs and things, so we can filter through that and get them to the appropriate resources when it's necessary. I've also applied for the Wisconsin Command College. Also submitted an application for a scholarship to the Wisconsin Command College. It's kind of a course, about 6 weeks long, and roughly they space it out over 6 to 8 months, and they attend a week each month. So waiting to hear back on that. I'll let you know if I get accepted. It'd be nice to get accepted. Equipment and fleet updates. We'll be upgrading, of course, our service rifles here shortly. I've talked about that before through the buyback program. And also our squad car should be coming in, I'm hoping anytime here, maybe tomorrow, that'd be great. But that's about the time of year for it. After we receive it, of course, it'll be probably another month before it's operational, as we'll have to get our equipment installed into it and get it ready for the road. Kind of holding off, we have a police commission meeting, which will take place when we get into our new building. So I kind of want to showcase that to our police commission. That should be sometime in April, hopefully. Any questions?
The lockers coming in?
They are, yes. So they should be installed hopefully by the middle of next week. That was one of the first things we ordered. So. All right.
Good. Thanks, Kevin.
I don't have a lot this month. February was busy, 140 calls for service, of those 39 were transfers, so we kept moving those 28 days. Public events, we will be hosting the Pierce County EMS conference Saturday at our station, so hopefully the weather allows us to have the conference. This winter time or March, springtime, try to figure it out. We have not heard anything on the interoperability grant yet. Rejection letters have gone out, there's been a couple rounds, we have not seen one yet. So we're still in the running on that, so that's good to hear. As soon as Kevin or I see the letter one way or the other, we'll let you know. We did receive our 2024 Medicaid reimbursement through the GMT program. That came in at the end of February here, it's $20,545.32. So we're still working through our hiring list. We have people in FTO, we got a wait list, so that's not much to change there. And those vending machines we ordered with those FAP funds have come in. Supplies are in them now, so we're tracking stuff better. It's organized, which would be nice. So that's what all I got. So
Thanks, Tom. All yours.
Oh, good.
All right. My favorite librarian, Val.
Oh, thank you. In your packet, you did receive the newsletter and the calendar for the month. So, just some fun events that we've had. We just completed a 3-part embroidery class. We had 7 people attend. They've asked for part 2, so that will happen as soon as I teach myself all of those stitches. We have started a cooked and booked club. This is a cookbook club. You come in, you pick up a recipe from the library. We meet on the second Thursday at 6:30. You bring what you make the dish, you bring it, and we eat it. So we all sample different recipes out of the same cookbook. We have 6 people coming tomorrow night, so they're slowly catching on to these. April 21st, we are going to have the author Alan Eskins. He wrote Quiet Librarian, Fire Country. He's out of the Twin Cities. He is coming to do an author visit. On March 26th, we're going to talk about gangsters in Wisconsin with the Wisconsin Gangster Program. What's even funnier is I asked Pillar Bank to help sponsor that, and I'm still waiting to hear back. And then Rhodes Scholars during COVID started a monthly lecture series that's free, so the library's been hosting those once a month. Bring in your lunch, they usually fall around lunchtime. Bring your lunch, we provide dessert and beverages. So The library will be closed Thursday, April 2nd. The staff is at the Public Library Association Conference in Minneapolis. So it's so close. IFLS is sponsoring a bus, so we're gonna go over and get some, and I opened up to all my staff. We did receive a $600 private donation for the summer reading program. So that was fun news out of the library this past month. And we're still writing more and more grants. So. And then the annual report has been completed and filed with the state. So just some fun numbers for you. Last year we had 61,531 people visit the library. We had 174 new patrons. 1,805 people signed in to use the public computers. I have a feeling that number is higher because a lot of the regulars just go sit down, they don't sign in. We had 3,796 people connect to our public Wi-Fi, and that even goes out into the parking lot, so sometimes they're connecting at 10, 11 o'clock at night out in the driveway. We circulated 43,815 items. We offered 371 programs with 7,697 attendees. We had over 100,000 Facebook views and 11,677 website page views. So numbers are going up from what they were a couple of years ago. So that's a good sign. Questions for the board?
You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Mark?
Just have a couple of quick items. Wanted to just, in your packet, I put some information from the last Baldwin Food Pantry Committee board meeting. The board is probably know. This year has been a really strong year at the food pantry since they moved into that new facility. Basically, without going through everything here, year-to-date income is up. The number of pounds of food that has been donated is up quite a bit. Donations are up. Pretty much everything across the board is up. The ending balance of the organization is up from 2025, from year end to 2024. We currently have a reserve of probably 125,000. There's actually some talk now about hiring a part-time kind of coordinator person. That's going to be a work in progress, but that's kind of a goal. So that new facility has really been a big plus, and I was going to talk to you, Jason, about trying to get you together with Rita and seeing if you could do a story on kind of how things have gone this year. Get some publicity, because it really is going well. So. Yeah, so I won't go through all of the numbers. And the other item I was going to talk about is the village had complaints about coyotes in the area of Dutch Heritage, and I just want to kind of update the board. The 2 coyotes have been removed. We're going to continue those efforts in the area, especially of Wintergreen. The trail will be closed in the near future for at least a month.
Aileen, does that, so that, the pine tree by the dump there,
Yeah.
you guys have connecting
We do.
walking paths in there? Okay,
Yes.
we're gonna have to work with you on this.
Okay.
After hearing that concern, I talked to a local hunter,
Okay.
and he drew 2 off, and he went in there and he said there's lots of places that he can remove them, but he's gonna have to have traps in there. That means no people and no dogs.
Okay. Sure,
So-
yeah, well, we can connect.
And I'll make sure that you know the dates. It's probably gonna be in April
Okay.
and be done by, first parts of May. Just needs to dry out a little bit, so
Okay.
I'll
Sure.
be in contact, or I'll have Mark contact you guys in. We'll have the village, I'm sure, go kind of around it, just, put the caution tape up and signs saying, hey, this is temporarily closed.
Yeah, we'll let our patrons know then as well.
Okay,
That's it.
that's it? Your patrons, is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
And these ladies said that it'll just make people run faster through the trail.
Perfect.
Your mating season is almost done.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
almost done,
exactly.
so. All right, we'll take a small recess before we go into closed session.
Yeah.
that works this time around. I did watch your video. Yeah.